Hi everyone, welcome to Birsa Academy. So today in this video, we will deal a issue related to Rohingyas. So in this video, we will deal that Bangladesh started a relocation of some of the Rohingyas to a remote island against their will. So these are the Rohingyas people. So in this video, we will deal the who are Rohingyas, why there is a Rohingya genocide in Myanmar, why there is a worldwide criticism on Myanmar, and what are India's stand on Rohingyas. So in this video, we will deal all this issue. So this video is presented by me, Manish Chaudhary. You can subscribe our channel Birsa Academy to make your preparation for UPSC and state PCS examination. Let's start. So सबसे पहले हम लोग देखेंगे सम ऑफ द आर्टिकल जो तुम्हारा रोहिंग्या से रिलेटेड है, जैसे ये द इकोनॉमिक्स टाइम का आर्टिकल है, ये इंडिया टुडे का आर्टिकल। सो इस आर्टिकल में बोला गया है कि रोहिंग्या बांग्लादेश इज स्टार्टिंग सेंडिंग रोहिंग्या टू देयर न्यू होम कॉल्ड बासन चार। चार मीन्स सेडिमेंट इन बे ऑफ बंगाल मीन। So this is the picture of Bangladesh Navy sending some of Rohingyas people to a remote island called Basan Char, because they say that जो बांग्लादेश का जो गवर्नमेंट है उसको रोहिंग्या को अगर रिलोकेट करना है तो उनको रोहिंग्या जो भी है उनसे परमिशन लेने की ज़रूरत है और उनका जो राइट है उनको प्रोटेक्ट करने की ज़रूरत है। So first of all, we will deal that what is Rohingya crisis, who are Rohingya. So these are the worldwide protest for and against the Rohingyas people. So this is the Buddhist community who is in majority in Myanmar, who is protesting against the Rohingya, saying that there is no Rohingya who is part of Myanmar history, and they should be expelled from the Myanmar. And this Buddhist community, always there is a communal clash between Rohingyas, because Rohingyas are the people who follow basically Islam, and these are the people who basically follow the Buddhist. And many Buddhist community also says that these Rohingyas people are many is like a insurgent group, and they are involved in raping the many Buddhist women. These are the some Indian community who is uh, who is appealing for the Rohingyas to restore Rohingya citizenship, and demanding the Myanmar government that they must act to make their Rohingyas. These are some of the community of India who is against the Rohingyas. They said that Rohingyas are Muslim and they should be go to Islamic country and do not come to India. So if we look that our northeast region is very having porous borders, and due to this porous border there is a continuous problem of illegal migrant in our northeast region. So like in Assam also there is a supreme under the Supreme Court there is a ongoing NRC National Register of Citizen, and these local peoples of Assam also demand that illegal migrant coming from Bangladesh should be deported. So that is why India is also against these Rohingyas, because they do not want that illegal people come and hamper the business of local community of India in the northeast region. So these are some of the Arab nation peoples who criticizing Myanmar government for their Rohingya genocide. So first of all, we will deal that who are Rohingyas. So Rohingyas are basically stateless people. Stateless people means they do not have a citizenship. No state is accepting that they are our citizen. And not the Bangladesh, not the Burma or Myanmar accepting that they are our citizen. Myanmar also passed a bill and declared that Rohingyas are not our citizen. So Rohingyas are basically a Rohingyas are basically a stateless ethnic group who majorly follow the Islam religion and reside the Rakhine state of Myanmar. This is the map of Myanmar. Previously, they are called Burma, and this is the Rakhine state of Myanmar, which is the most backward region of Myanmar. So this is some of the ethnic group of Myanmar. So Myanmar is basically a Buddhist majority country, and there are many others ethnic group also reside here. Rohingyas are basically follower of Islam. There have ongoing class, communal class between this Buddhist majority group and Rohingya minority group. So, if you saw, then the United Nations also describe Rohingyas as most persecuted minority of the world, and Rohingya means inhabitant of Rohang. Rohang is a place of Myanmar in colonial era and names given to early Muslims who reside this area. This is the some of the area before the colonial era known as Rohang, and Muslim people who lived there known as Rohingya. So लगभग 1 मिलियन पीपल रिसाइड करते हैं तुम्हारा इसमें लगभग 1 मिलियन पीपल जो रोहिंग्या है तुम्हारा वो रखाइन स्टेट है उसमें रिसाइड करते हैं और उसमें 1/3 पॉपुलेशन जो है तुम्हारा वो रोहिंग्या का है। रोहिंग्या पॉपुलेशन जो है जैसे मैंने कहा कि उन्हें सिटीजनशिप भी म्यांमार के गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा नहीं दी गई है और 1982 में एक लॉ पास किया गया था म्यांमार के गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा जिसको बोला जाता है म्यांमार नेशनैलिटी लॉ। देयर आर मेनी रेस्ट्रिक्शन पुट ऑन रोहिंग्यास बाय द म्यांमार गवर्नमेंट like they have restricted from freedom of movement means they do not allowed to move here and there. They have to live in a particular place. They like India we will have under article 19 that freedom of movement. So in India we have freedom of movement, then we the citizen of India can move in any place of India from northeast to southwest. Rohingya people having many restriction upon them, like they have restriction upon freedom of movement. So as the India citizen having under Article 19 having freedom of movement, so if India citizen wanted to move any part of India, they have freedom to go there. But in Myanmar, Rohingya first of all that do not have citizenship, and second thing is that they do not also have freedom of movement. They don't allow have to move any part. There there are many restrictions put upon Rohingyas. First of all, they do not give citizenship by the Myanmar government, and having passed a law called Myanmar Nationality Law, and in this law they do not allow the citizenship of Myanmar. Second thing, they do not have freedom of movement. Like in India, under Article 19, every Indian citizen have the right of freedom of movement, and under this freedom they have allowed to move in any part of India from northeast to southwest, and Rohingya people are do not allowed to move in any other part of Myanmar despite other than Rakhine state where they are residing, and Rohingyas are also denied from other Rohingyas are also denied from some of the basic rights, like they do not have right of religion, they do not have the right to how they family planning, and other social life is also regulated by Myanmar government of the Rohingyas people. Myanmar government also do not consider Rohingyas as their citizen, but they consider these Rohingyas people as foreigner who or illegal migrant who come from Bangladesh. These are some of the discrimination who Rohingyas people faces by the Myanmar government or army. So, against this discrimination, there are many groups emerged among the Rohingyas people who want to fight for the right of these Rohingyas people. So one of them is Arakan Rohingya National Organization. This organization is demanding for the self-determination within the Myanmar. So this group basically demand that they want autonomous region within the Myanmar, like in Tibet within the China. They demand that their autonomous region, but Myanmar government consider this Rohingyas organization as a terrorist organization. So now we will discuss that what is the Rohingya crisis. So there are many military crackdown on Rohingya before the 2017 and 18, but 2017 and 18 military crackdown is having play a very important role in Rohingya genocide or Rohingya crisis. So in 2017 and 18, Myanmar army they started operation called clearance operation against this Rohingyas population. They wanted to driven out these Rohingyas people from the Rakhine state of Myanmar, and to save their our life, these Rohingyas people moved to around the nations like Bangladesh in India, UAE, and other part also to save their life. And this Bangladesh, these Rohingyas people also moved the places in Southeast Asia, like ASEAN nations like Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, and other nations. So it is estimated that like 24,000 Rohingyas people were killed by this Myanmar army, and they are also involved in raping minor girls. So now we will discuss the terror phase of Buddhism. So many of you consider that Buddhist religion believe on peace, non-violence, and harmony between the various religion. Like in Tibet, the Dalai Lama, who is running the government in exile in our country, in presently they are living in India. He says that violence is any form in any circumstances is against this Buddhist philosophy and Buddhist religion. But in Myanmar, these people who follow the Buddhist religion, they do not adopt the peace, and they adopt the way of violence against these Rohingyas people. This Buddhist community, who is in majority, say that these Rohingyas people are involved in raping the many Buddhist women, and due to this reason, they started communal clash between these Rohingyas people and Buddhist majority people. These Buddhist people are also burned many of the houses of these Rohingyas people and take the lives of many people. Like 280 people were killed by these Buddhist monks. Like 280 Rohingyas were killed by this Buddhist national, and they also burned the houses of Rohingyas people where they used to reside. So there are many international organizations like UN and Human Rights Watch and many other organizations also says that Myanmar army is involved in raping many of the Rohingyas Muslim women and also the minor girls. And Myanmar government to hide this Rohingya genocide, which is done by Myanmar army and this Buddhist community, they do not allow the access of media to this Rakhine state, and they also present the two journalists under the colonial era law for the access for this access of this Rakhine state. So Myanmar do not want any access of any media to this Rakhine state, because if there is any access to this journalist to this area, then the genocide of Rohingyas people get exposed to worldwide country, and there is a huge criticism of Myanmar. So as I said previously, that Rohingyas are facing many discrimination in Myanmar on education, health, marriage, family planning, employment, religion. So all these social aspect of life is also regulated by this Myanmar government or of this Rohingyas people's life, government and army all around the world. So now we will discuss that why there is so much hatred among the Buddhist community and other ethnic group in Myanmar against this Rohingyas people. Want so first of all that there are some group who demanding the right for these Rohingya people from the Myanmar government, like Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army. So this organization, whose previous name was Harakan Al Yakin, who is demanding that Myanmar government should stop the mistreatment of Rohingya people, and they must give citizenship to these Rohingya people and work for their betterment of life. But this this organization is considered by Myanmar government as a militant group, and it tried to promote insurgency in this Rakhine region of Myanmar. The second thing is there is an ongoing communal clash between this uh, minority Rohingyas people and majority Buddhist community. This Buddhist community claims that these Rohingyas people are involved in raping the many Buddhist women and promote the insurgency in Rakhine region of Myanmar. And they also this community also hated these Rohingya people because they do not consider it as a indigenous belong to these Buddhist people. Also hate the Rohingyas because they consider that they are not the indigenous race of Myanmar, but they come from Bangladesh. And during the colonial era, because in colonial era British brought many farm laborer to work in agricultural farm of this Myanmar region, and many Bangladeshi comes this region, get reside to this region for century. But this Rohingya people says that they are indigenous race and they are living their place from many centuries. Now we will discuss the migration pattern of Rohingyas. So these are the map where we can see that how the Rohingya people moved from this Rakhine state of Myanmar to many of region of South Asia and Southeast Asia. So this is the place like Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Pakistan, UAE, and Saudi Arabia. So, and India also. India also have 40,000 people. So, after the military crackdown of Myanmar army on Rakhine state, these Rohingya people started fled out to any neighboring country where they can save their life. So they started moving all around the neighboring countries, but many Southeast Asia countries, like now they call ASEAN country, they do not accept these Rohingya people, and they force their Rohingya people to move other places. So this is the picture like Bangladesh, uh, Thailand, Myanmar, Indonesia. They do not accept these Rohingya people. But due to porous border of Bangladesh and India, there are many Rohingya people come to Bangladesh and India. Like you know that in India we have illegal migration problem of Bangladesh also, and in our northeast region, these indigenous people, these local people demanding that illegal migrant coming from Bangladesh should be stopped and they should be deported from to Bangladesh. And in our northeast region also there is a in Assam and other state in and and as you know that in our northeast region there is also a demand of NRC in National Register of Citizen in Assam. There is ongoing NRC under the guidance of Supreme Court that who is illegal migrant coming from Bangladesh should be deported, and India government also claiming that there are many illegal migrant coming from this Bangladesh get flew to other state also like Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh, and many more state. So that is why that BJP government demanding that there should be a whole nation NRC, and and whoever do not have document should be deported from the country. And so that is why there are many opposition to this NRC, because many people says that people who live and do not have document get declared as illegal migrant and they deported from this country. So now so now as I said that Bangladesh who is saying that So Bangladesh says that there are estimated 8 lakh Rohingyas who come from this Myanmar to Bangladesh. So Bangladesh, due to current situation of COVID-19 pandemic, there is huge burden on Bangladesh due to this Rohingyas people, and Bangladesh is not able to hold these economic losses because of these Rohingya people. So they want that they so they so they wanted that they want to so they want that they so they want so what they want that they wanted that they want to deploy these Rohingyas people to a remote island called Basanchar in Bay of Bengal, and where their Bangladesh Navy and other government also build many houses, hospitals, mosques, and other infrastructure for the living of these Rohingyas people. And but many international organization and rights committee saying that these Rohingyas people are deported against their bill, and this should not be happen because if there is any cyclonic activity in Bay of Bengal, then their life get affected in a one single attack of. But this international organization is criticizing the Bangladesh government because if there is any cyclonic activity in this Bay of Bengal, then the life of these Rohingya people get damaged in a one stroke of this cyclonic activity. And as we know that there is always a continuous problem of cyclone in the Bay of Bengal. So that is why this international community criticizing the action of this Bangladesh government. Initially, Bangladesh government proposed this action, but now they are taking action on deportation. So if you look the Basanchar, then you will find that char means sediment in Bengali language. So if you look the Basanchar, it is not a island, but basically a mud. If you look mud, and this is the vulnerable of many tides coming from the Bay of Bengal. So if you look the geographical location of Bangladesh, then you will find that many rivers come from India and other region get deposited many sediment to this region, and due to this sedimentation many small islands get emerged, and this Basanchar where the Rohingya people get deported it also surfaced only 20 years ago. So they are basically a mud and not the island, and if this there is any cyclonic activity or any big tides come to this island, then it is the probability then whole island get submerged, and this so there is a probability that if there is any cyclonic activity comes through this Bay of Bengal, then the life of this whole Rohingyas people get damaged in a one stroke, and there is also probability that this whole island gets submerged in monsoon region, because in monsoon region there is a level of ocean's current is very high. So Bangladesh government built many shelters, many hospitals, many masjid, and many other social infrastructure for these Rohingyas people, and it cost very huge amount like dollar of 272 millions. And so now we will so now we will so now we will discuss that what are the international stand against this Rohingya genocide. So Zambia, which is the country of South Africa, which is backed by OIC. OIC is the International Organization of Islamic uh, country who backed the Zambia for the took the Myanmar government to International Court of Justice. So International Court of Justice is basically a organ on. So International Court of Justice is. So now we will discuss the international stand on Myanmar genocide or Rohingya genocide. So Zambia, with backing from OIC, took the Myanmar government to International Court of Justice for the violation of 1948 Genocide Convention. So 1948 Genocide Convention is saying that there should be no genocide against the any people who is living in any country, and there should be humanitarian treatment to any illegal migrant. So it basically based on the human rights concept that the human right violation should not be happen in any region, in any part of country, in a worldwide. So now in this that OIC, what is OIC? OIC is basically Organization of Islamic Cooperation, which is the second biggest organization of world in terms of number and promoting the interest of Muslim countries. And what is ICJ? International Court of Justice is basically a organ of UN who dealing who deal with international cases. Now we will discuss the ASEAN stand on this Rohingya genocide. So ASEAN group, which is a group of 10 countries, is failed to deal with this Rohingya genocide because this organization function on the principle of non-interference in the internal matter of country. So these people do not interfere in the matter of Myanmar and left this issue as untouched. But but if we see, then it should not be happen that ASEAN should leave this Rohingya genocide as an internal problem of Myanmar. Because if there is any human right violation in Myanmar, these people, to save their life, fled to many other ASEAN countries like Thailand and Indonesia and many other countries to save their life. And ASEAN should consider this issue as a regional issue and not as a internal issue of Myanmar. And you might be thinking that what does India stand on Rohingya genocide? So India is basically do not able to do much about this Rohingya genocide because India want to maintain its good relation with Myanmar due to many projects like Sagarmala multimodal project. Our Act East policy also makes India's government to maintain a good relation with Myanmar, and there is also a mutual understanding between the Indian government and Myanmar government related to insurgent this reason. And there are many times that Myanmar army and Indian army conduct many operations against this insurgent group which is acting in India's northeast region. And so United Nations says that these Rohingyas people who is deported to remote island must be able to make a free and informed decision and should be given a free chance that and to decide that they want to deport this island or not. Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch and many other international organizations also criticizing this Bangladesh government action because they consider this movement as a forceful movement and not as per the wish of these Rohingyas people. So now we will see the satellite footage of this construction, which is done by Chinese and British company for this Bangladesh government to make this habitation for these Rohingyas people. So this is the barrier which is constructed. This is this is the image of April 2018. So this is the refugee housing. This is the flood defense barrier. This is the barrier which is constructed around this habitation. This is the image of May 2020. There are many schools, mosques, and other infrastructure built by Bangladesh government, and this is the barrier. And this is the latest satellite photo, and which just shows that this is the boat carrying construction supply for this construction of these hospitals and other places. This is the helipad. This is the flood defense barrier, and construction began on refugee housings. So this is all about this issue of Rohingya crisis. And if there is any update come, then we will make you sure that we will cover in our next video. So you can subscribe our channel Birsa Academy to make your preparation for UPSC and state PCS examination. So thanks for listening. So thank you.